Hello there. So happy Thursday, and today I felt like doing this kind of high gain blues thing over slow blues. So I don't know, it just gives you a lot of space, a lot of room for your guitar to be heard. So if you like listening to yourself, you might want to give it a shot. I'm in G minor, but I won't be playing down here on the 3rd fret. Instead, I'll be taking the 1, 2, 3, 4th position in G minor, play up here. And as usual, I'll move it around from there, but that's going to be kind of my reference and starting point. Hey there, Shot by Honey. I know blues in the sense that I like to jam the blues, but I have to be honest with you, I haven't learned much blues songs or blues material. A bit from Stevie Ray Vaughan, that's it, but that was back in the days. But it did act, as a good starting point for just improvising. So. Basically this kind of thing, right? So I kind of got that, and to be honest with you, you're gonna find blues licks in pretty much any rock, metal, or obviously blues solo out there. So even if you don't learn per se these big blues guitarists, famous tracks, you still get a lot of blues influences if you learn a Metallica solo. All you have to do is play those Kirk Hammett licks over this kind of backing track with less distortion, and you're playing the blues in a way. What's up Melvin Jörlén, hur är läget? Jag misstänker att vi har en svensk här. Var i Sverige om jag får fråga? Stockholm, Haninge här. So I have to take the opportunity to speak a little bit Swedish here. I don't do it a lot in my streams. Since this is a minor blues, by the way, it's really nice to play the Aeolian mode. So instead of going for that kind of Dorian feel, which is kind of common if you have like a 7 or dominant bass blues, you can really play your minor sounds here. I've never listened to Drake, to be honest with you. But I've used his images for memes. That's the only connection I have with him. I don't know if he's more famous as a meme artist or as a musician. Sorry, man. Okay, so just for you to feel at home, I'm gonna play some blues licks here on the 3rd fret in your trusty, 1st position, right? Thank you, Shot, for digging it, man. And you're gonna see that I'm a frequent user of hybrid picking. And to be honest with you, when I first started just jamming like this a long time ago, I was using my fingers just to get a different sound. So I would have my pick like this, you know, and just do... because it made my lick sound a bit different from the, the pick version. Actually, you might hear it's a pretty big difference, at least to me. What is Nagaland? Sorry, man, don't know. With a pick? But these days, I actually prefer mixing pick with fingers. It has more flexibility, and if you spent all these years working on your picking licks, you want to have them close at hand as well. Plus, with a pick, you can get even more volume, so it's a way of being more dynamic as well. I can really go from, that kind of thing too. You might not hear it as a big difference in volume, but it impacts tone quite a bit, and it gives both me and the listener variation, right? So it's not like a computer who speaks like this and every word is the same volume and it's a bit boring to listen to after a while. You want these kind of natural fluctuations in your playing style. Finger taps, yeah, we can try that. Sorry, mate, don't know your option, never learned it. I actually just studied Eddie Van Halen's Faces, so I'm really good at doing that. I'm just kidding. This one was for Burner. Pretty cool. Let's try it some more. I'm gonna do it one more time, and I'm gonna try to make some extra faces just for Burner. I missed. One more time. Melvin Yerlén, that's a good question. Do I make my own jam tracks? This one is not. This one is from the GMC site. It's from my fellow instructor Guido Bungerstrock, who's an amazing guitarist and producer. So it's his backing track. But, and that's a big but, I've actually ordered and waiting for a new looper pedal. So I hope to make it a bit easier for me to, basically just spontaneously come up with the backing right before these streams. I have a looper pedal now, but I can't save anything in it, and I hate that. I don't want to come up with a really cool backing track and then when I just throw it away. So I want to keep those, and so I'll become doing that soon. I do have a whole bunch of backing tracks I've written back in the days, and just a few months ago I wrote a whole bunch of them. So yeah, I do occasionally, but I'm a bit of a, going through phases right now. I'm very much into the playing, live streaming, and doing shorts kind of phase. That's what I've been doing non-stop the last couple of weeks. But hopefully with a new channel or new looper, I'll get back on track. Ooh, we have a really eager little troll here. Bernard, how you doing, man? How you feeling today? What have you been up to? And where do you live, man? Which country? Cool, Vin. You're hearing a Santana groove feeling with your playing, mixing with Joe Satriani and Jeff Beck. Man, that's so kind of you. Thank you, man. How much does my guitar cost? I think the MH1000, I think it's close to maybe 800 or 900 USD, maybe more now. I bought mine 15 years ago or 10 years ago when prices were much better. So maybe around $1,000. Someone correct me. Incredible setup. Thank you so much, Stephen. What is it you like? The video quality? Oh, it's 1,200 now. Yeah, I suspected. Yeah, I bought it for like $700 or $800, or the equivalent. Okay, some more blues bending for you. I'm gonna do a little lick for Bernard now. This is for you, Bernard, so you don't have to listen to the piano. Thank you, Stephen, for digging it. Yeah, I've done a few upgrades. The biggest one was that my camera broke 1 or 2 years ago, and I just couldn't bring myself to invest in new, but now I finally did it. So not only is video quality better, but I have the option of easily kind of do like a line-in audio to you guys, and then I can monitor it through my headphones. So I'm pretty much hearing exactly the same thing as you. I don't have an amp loud in the room. And that makes things a whole lot easier, because before I used to check do you think levels are okay? It just sucks. Now I can hear what you guys are hearing. Steven, I'd love to try soloing over your song, but I'm a bit worried if it's on YouTube. I can't just play it now because it's really horrible with the copyright thing. But you can send me the link and I'll be happy to jam over it. I don't know what Kik Butowski is. So let's see if we can find... Oh, here's a cool backing track, I think. Let's try... I'm just going to bookmark this one first. So here we go. There we go. And now we're going to try another one. Pretty nice. It's also very bluesish. David, Stockholm, Sweden. How about you guys? If we want to do a thing where we say where we are, it's always cool. Because it turns out we have quite a bit of US people being up in the middle of the night. That's always interesting. I feel very flattered when people in the middle of the night watching my stream. Ohio. That's pretty cool. So what time is it in Ohio? Oh, yeah. Sorry, couldn't resist it. So let's try some here. E minor now, our favorite key. We have a hater in the room. His name is Bernard Dover. He stays in the stream. Even though he hates it so much. A Bernard Dover is my man. Bernard Dover! Bernard is the only adult in the room. He tells us how to behave. He gives us lyrics for our song. What would we do without him, Bernard? We love you, Bernard! How stupid is this? Bernard, you tell me! You're the adult! Quack, quack. That's the sound of Bernard. How sad is this? Bernard stays though he hates the stream. That's sad. Say Sigma. Nightbot. Darshan. Bernard is playing backing squeals. Okay, so how long have I been playing? I've been playing for 3 decades-ish. Something like that. It's crazy. Too long. Darshan, I'd love to say your name. Batarai, but I'm gonna butcher it. Oh, you always get him to act the clown. Bernard. He knows how to make people act like a clown. I messed up. Okay, Bernard, so serious question. I'm 43 years old. How old are you? Just wondering. If you wanna, have a serious and not such a dorky conversation here. David, you're the best guitarist I've ever seen. Thank you, man. That's a cool question, bleep, bleep, bleep. Tips for your phrasing style for solo. Okay, Bernard, but how old are you? Honestly, tell us. So, if you wanna phrase like me, first of all, I'm not sure it's desirable. Preferably, you wanna be able to phrase like you, right? We all have musical individualities, and that's the best thing you can do, because no one can ever beat you at playing like you. But learning to play like you, on the way there, it can actually be beneficial to learn someone else's style. So I'm not blaming you if you want to play like me or someone else. It's actually a good thing. So since Bernard doesn't want to say his age, I would assume he's a young teenager, if even that. If he's below 13, he can't even have an account on YouTube, so maybe he doesn't want to admit. But anyhow, we want to take care of lost children here as well. So Bernard, even though you haven't learned yet how to behave socially, you're still welcome here. If you kick the level up a little bit more, I'm going to have to ban you. But where we're at now, we're okay. So just you can be here. We like you for who you are. And I suspect maybe you don't get to hear that much, but we're going to give you a second chance and a third chance. That's fine. So a little bit here. Let's try it. So a lot of the stuff I do really comes from a melody perspective. It's always like melody first. And I'm saying this because a lot of people get confused by the fast stuff and like, oh, I have to play the fast stuff, right? That's what sticks out at me. And while that might be true, the fast stuff doesn't really sound good unless you couple it with a melody. So, yeah, I mean, you can always start by learning to play melodically and add fast licks and it's going to sound awesome. If you do it the other way around, first learn to shred. I've seen that many times. So spend a couple of years gaining some technique and then try to kind of squeeze in some melody into those chops afterward. That's very hard. You're basically going to have to relearn. So if I were to give you one like general advice, start with melody. And what could be better than some like blues licks or melodic blues licks? So David, I was asking Bernard, sorry, I wasn't asking for your age, man. But it's always interesting to know. So start with some bluesy licks. That's a very good thing, I think. And just something easy. You don't have to be advanced at all to start improvising. That's also a misconception. Sure, if you want to play over fast 2-5-1s in jazz or whatever, that's hard. But you just want to find a backing track and try your pentatonic scale. You can do that pretty much from day one, you know? I'll do it with one finger just to show you. Wait. I'm just going to double check the key here. Yeah, E minor. Okay, so let's try with just one finger. Why did I do that? Well, just to show you that you don't need fancy technique to start improvising. You can just come up with melodies and try your notes in the scale. And if you lack inspiration, then see if you can learn an easy solo or an easy lick. That's going to help you. So if you start with a simple melody and try to take it one step at a time. So think of it as you can add like one new little idea or lick, whatever, per day at most, you know? So if you're playing... You know, that's enough. If it's like day one of improvising, that's awesome. Just stick with that. And then, you know, day two, maybe you're going to try something. Try something new, right? Maybe find a new note that works. And little by little, you add stuff. And if you take it in that pace, it's gonna come naturally. If you ask a guitarist, like you ask them about their technique, like, oh, I don't think much about it. It comes naturally. That's because they've taken these small steps on a daily basis. And when you do that, you don't think about getting better. It's a bit like growing, right? Physically, you don't think about, maybe you got like a fraction of a millimeter longer this month, when you're growing, when you're 12 years old. You don't think about that. It just happens. It's the same if you take small steps when playing. So I like to take those small steps over a backing track and jamming, because I think that gives you so much more than just the thing you're practicing. You get rhythm, you get timing, and you get harmony. Even though you don't know the name of everything, you still learn to hear how things work together. We only have 12 notes on the guitar, so even though it might appear as though we have lots of dots everywhere and that looks complicated, it's still just about our ears getting used to those 12 notes, and it doesn't really matter where we play them on the guitar. Okay, Bernard, sorry, I'm going to have to give you a little short ban now, because it's hard to see the comments and people are getting pissed off by you. I have the patience, but it seems we don't all have the patience. I don't blame the other ones, so I'm going to block you temporarily. You can come back tomorrow if you're still in the mood of following me. Still want to come back even though this is so bad? You can do that tomorrow. Goodbye. Yeah, I kicked him. Sorry, guys, for keeping him with you so long. I just think it's a good idea to. I know it's such a polarized world now. So if you can give someone who's an apparent asshole, you can give them an extra chance. I think that's good for kind of uniting people. But obviously, there's a limit, and Bernard can always come back. I mean, if he wants to, and I'm pretty sure he's just a young and lost kid. So. But still, I mean, those kids, they have to learn how people react when they behave like assholes. So we gave him a few chances now. So you're new. What's going on? We just banned Bernard. That's what happened. And also these people, they give you a little bit of inspiration. It's always a little bit fun in the beginning. But then, I mean, he accused me of playing the same thing over and over again. But he was the one spamming with all these comments, saying the same thing over again. So I guess we got tired of it. Pour one out for Bernard. Yeah, we need a little improv. Here's for you, Bernard. If you're still watching, I bet he's like, I wanna stay. I wanna be able to comment. I wanna keep watching. And now they're speaking about me. It's not fair. I want Joe Bonamassa. But here, Bernard, if you're still watching, and I'm actually thinking you probably are, here's another one for you. Oh yeah, Bernard. This is the last Bernard jam. Raise the volume a little bit. And things immediately got hot, so I'm gonna see if we can get some cool air in here. Oh, yeah. One more time. So if you're a saxophone player, I just want to say I'm jealous. I've often wanted to switch to saxophone, but I never. I was very close to buying one at one point, but then it's like, nah. I'm trying to fix the wrong problem. So basically it's just me that needed inspiration at the guitar, so better spend those $100 on something else. I was close, but anyhow, I can't give you any tips. I just think it's an awesome instrument where you focus on amazing tone you can get from saxophone, and also just melody, and you can really be rhythmic about your melody. It's such a cool instrument. I love it, but I can't help you with it. Thank you, Tyler, for digging my sound. So I'm using, I guess live gear would be the word. Yeah, analog gear for most part. The only thing is I have a power attenuator on my Mesa Boogie amp, so I don't use a speaker. Instead, I have a power attenuator so I don't hear the amp in the room, and I use the line-up with a speaker emulation pedal, which is called More Radar. So that's what you're hearing in the guitar. You're not hearing a real guitar speaker here. It's the More Radar, and that allows me to line the sound to you guys, and we can hear the same thing here, which is insanely useful for me. So I can actually make sure you guys are getting good sound. Some hard bass lines. I crap at that. Yeah, it works very well, I think. This setup is solid. There's no real delay because the signal you're getting is actually from the mixer output of the monitoring output from my sound card. So I don't even think you're hearing the computer processing my guitar. It's just sound coming to you guys directly. You know, as I hear the backing track, and you're gonna hear it at the same time, and I choose to play something, whichever thing I choose to play kind of reaches you almost without any, or just one analog to digital conversion, one single. Two. So one from the More Radar pedal and then one on the camera. But it could be another 2 steps if I, threw it in the computer first and then out, so try to avoid that. It gives a little bit of delay and can also cause like quality degrading if your audio interface isn't very good. I can't play Cannibal Corpse Hammer Smashed Face. Sorry, man. Bass plus licks, yeah, that's right. I think we need another backing track. Oh, I'm inspiring you to play guitar, learn guitar again. That's awesome, Lyman. That's really the goal here. It's awesome to hear that. Can we find another backing track? Let's see. Ooh, yeah. We're playing the blues. Ooh, yeah. Gonna fix the levels a little bit. Again, so now since I'm hearing the exact same thing as you, I can immediately fix the levels because this backing track was a bit too loud. I don't know if that's good level. Now I'm starting to ask you again. Look at my right hand. You can see I was using a lot of fingers there, right? That's the hybrid picking I was speaking about earlier as well. Ooh, you like my guitar face? I like it. That's a good advice, Potato Gang. Follow your dreams. If you want to learn saxophone, then learn. Definitely, go for it. It's a fantastic instrument. I don't know Romain Exisa. Oh. Thanks a lot for the comparison then. Guitar face makes you 20% better, that's a fact. I get a lot of comments about that, but I would say the guitar faces are a symptom of you doing something right. So, can guitar faces help you play well? No, on the contrary. If you make them on purpose, you're gonna look silly and it's just going to take your energy away from playing something good. However, if you don't try to do any phases and record yourself and find yourself doing phases, then you are doing something good because you're focused on whatever is being played. I don't know. It's just an excuse. Cool roll for fun. Thanks for the tips. Go other side. What's that? Can you do miserable guitar riff? I don't know. They could be worse, that's for sure. Okay, big push. Haven't heard of that either. What is your tip to become a great lead player in a band? Well, I haven't played in a band for a long time, but we can break it apart. So if you want to play in a band and be great, it doesn't matter if you want to be a lead player or whatever, you have to prioritize the song. So it's never about being heard better, it's about what can I do to make the song sound better. And that of course goes with the lead guitarist as well. So if you're forcing your bandmates to give you a couple of extra bars so you can shred, that's, from my perspective, is not a good lead player. Of course that comes from someone who is jamming, shredding non-stop here. So I know that might not make sense, but it's a bit of a different forum right here, I would say. I'm not really trying to, at least at this point, I'm not trying to write a song with you guys. It's more of a, guitarist fest or something. But when you're in a band, it's all about the song. So that means as a lead guitarist, you're doing the song a favor if you're playing melodically to enhance the other lead instrument, for example. You can act as you're playing an intro or something like that. But a lot of times your lead, I think, should work with, probably you have a lead singer, with the lead singer. So that means filling in small gaps when there's some breathing room. It means emphasizing whenever there's a peak in dynamics. If the band and the singer think that's right, you could actually even add harmony to what is being sung. And a lot of times you do need a solo that can kind of help you take you from one place to another in the song. And that's really what the solo should do. It should be a means of transportation that keeps the listener engaged. So a cool solo taking the song from point A to point B. I think that's a good kind of thinking as a lead guitarist when you're in a band. Reef, thank you. How did you do your skills? So I'm mostly self-taught. I learned a lot from my co-instructors on the GMC website. And I took 1 year of private lessons when I was 17, 18 years old. That was important because I got the basics, theory, modes, and stuff like that. A bit technique basics, and also just how to not practice. So always practice the metronome, that kind of thing, right? So yeah. D-side is a good jazz band. Cool. Caleb, I did get your video. A very cool looking guitar. Andy Summers. Oh, accents to trilling or shredding. I mean, shredding to me is a bit of a not derogatory term, but for some people it can be. It's a bit like mindless fast playing. I don't mind though. I think it's a way of explaining that you realize that what you're doing is not really song material. It's just intentionally too much, but it's fun and we're all guitarists. That's when I use shredding. Shredding is just too much technique. And shredding doesn't work in songs. There are some exceptions, but for most part, shredding doesn't really work in songs. So shredding is something we guitarists do with each other. It's not a band or song thing, and that's when I use the word shred. If there's shredding in a song, then usually that means too much fast playing. Oh, you sent me another one today. A guy attached a fake fishing rod to a guitar and made an automatic guitar. I like it. I've seen that one, the one with the... So, cool videos there, Caleb. So, let's try some more here. If you guys want to tune in, I'm in A minor. Thanks for the great words. So I'd love to hear you playing the Telecaster. The thing is, I have a Telecaster that I like quite a bit, but I don't have it in the studio here. I have it as my practice guitar, which I use when I'm with my family. So, and the reason I like it so much there is because it's such a flexible guitar. Just with one guitar, I can get some cool rhythm sounds. I can get some twangy stuff. I can get some funky, so that's why I don't have it here. I should get another Telecaster so I can have it here. Caleb, if you sent me some songs on Instagram, would you be able to practice them, then play them on the stream? I would be able to do that, but I wouldn't prioritize it. And that's because, believe it or not, my schedule is completely full as it is, trying to be a good father and trying to sustain my family and everything that comes along. So I could, but I wouldn't at this point. Maybe when I'm older and have more time on my hand, that would be fun to do. But the thing is, I don't like learning other people's songs. And I think we've spoken about that before. I don't see that as a challenge. When I started out, when I was like probably your age and in your situation, I loved trying to learn other people's material. But decades have passed and that doesn't intrigue me anymore. Now it's all about finding, my inner voice and learning to sound like me. And when doing that, it's not helpful to learn, how to play a Nirvana song. That was fun years ago. But now it's more of can I find a new approach that helps me in developing my own style? So whenever I do have practice time, that's what I focus on. And I do get like 1 or 2 hours of practice time, and I'm very happy about that. But that's a challenge just to get that. So learning new songs would not be on my list. Sorry, man. Are your kids my age? I think you were 13, right? My daughter is, I have 2 daughters. My oldest daughter is 15 and the other one is 10. So around the same age. Elijah, what guitar is this? Good question. So this is an LTD MH 1000 NT, which stands for, let me see, no tremolo, which you can clearly see here. There's no tremolo. And you can see it's what is called set through neck. So it looks a little bit like a neck through, but it's not. It's just a glued neck with a really smooth joint there. Yeah, and I put some bare knuckles in. Bare knuckle the mule, and I actually have this guitar plecked as well, so string action is very low. And it's this the DLX Deluxe guitars. You can see it has some extra fancy stuff and locking tuners, stuff like that. It's Sally. Are my daughters interested in guitar? They're not very interested in guitar, but they like to joke about me being very interested in guitar. I've never really tried to make them be interested in the guitar. I do remember buying a little acoustic guitar for my oldest daughter when she was really young. But I quickly realized that had the opposite effect. So now I'm not pushing it in any way. But I am very happy that they are very interested in music. And they are the ones showing me new songs now, like pop songs. And I love it. And oddly enough, my oldest daughter, I don't know where that comes from, but she started listening to heavy metal. So those are like the heavy metal records that I listened to when she was young. So a bit of like the Swedish band Sabaton. And they have a very cool album in Swedish. It's called Carolus Rex or something like that. It's a very good album. They have it in the English version as well. Check it out. It's awesome. It's a piece of history there, right there. And she started liking that just like a few months ago. And I'm totally blown away. She's like, yeah, I can listen to heavy metal. And we're in the car. It's like, Bränner blöder, vår stormaktstid är över. And we're like shouting in the car. So that's fun. But interested in guitar, no. But I think both of them like music and they like singing. So there's a chance they could do music stuff. Would be fun at some point to maybe record them in the studio. But it's not a big thing for me. I've never been interested in having my kids either, pick up my hobbies or pick up stuff that I wish I picked up. I don't do any of that. So, they can just pick up whatever they want to. I'm happy if I can find some common ground just in terms of interests. And what we do have in common, especially with my oldest daughter now, is outdoor stuff. So this summer we did a lot of canoeing together, or kayaking is the right word, I think. And I'm also very surprised she's 15 years old. She want to go out with her dad, do kayak. So I'm happy about that. I don't have any desire for her to play guitar at this point. I hope I'm going to get the younger one to come out with me more often. I mean, she wants to hang around with me, but she much prefers just watching a movie inside. And I'm like, let's go out in the forest. Let's pick some mushrooms. Like, let's watch a movie. Paul, morning. What's up? Death metal is huge in Sweden. It is. Although the Sabaton band, that's more like power metal or something. I don't know. It's not death metal. I'm not a big fan of death metal. In Flames, maybe, but I need a sung melody. It can be barked, Paradise Lost, Metallica, or even Testament. I love that's kind of where, if you know the album The Gathering by The Testament, that's kind of where my growling limit lies. To me, that's musical, even though it's scrolling. Did you draw the line? It's a mix between growling and barking. It's not, James Hetfield barking by any means. It's really more the growling side, but it's still melodic. That's kind of where the limit is. It's your birthday. I wish I knew how to play Happy Birthday, but happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mary Joy. Happy birthday to you. I bet no one sung like that for you today. Oh, Mark, that's an interesting one. I always wonder how artists can be so unique and innovative in their respective styles with so much outside influence from other legends. So, Mark, maybe that's the secret there. I have to admit, though, I'm not sure on my end if it's a conscious strategy to avoid other guitarists or if I'm just bored when I learn other people's stuff. So I have learned from other guitarists back in the days, but I would pick like my 4 favorite licks from Blues Saraceno, for example. I love him, but it's... or actually, from him I learned more. But there's this Dave Sharman. I don't know if you remember him. He had a really cool album. I think it was called 1990. Unfortunately, he released it just when Shred was about to die and Nirvana was about to get big. But very cool album. And I remember one lick there. It's like... how it's... Something like that. Something like that. I can't really play it now, but that alone has been very cool. It got me started doing more like funkier stuff. Just one lick, And one lick is not enough for you to start sounding like another artist. So I don't think I ever had that problem. Was it due to laziness? Maybe, I don't know. On the Edge from U2. So I think the day I'll start listening to U2 more, I will love him. But I've never really liked the band. I realize they have good songs, and I like it. He has a very emotional character. But it's just something, it's a little too soft or something. I wish it could be just a tad more edge. But nothing wrong with them, but I don't like them. Yeah, that sounds like a dick. Cool, Callum. So you're 14 as of September 20th. That's pretty cool. My birthday is September 12th, so we're close then. My daughters speak English pretty well, yeah, even though they're Swedish. What's the coolest guitar you've ever played? I did borrow a guitar from a Swedish builder, Sergeant Doom. That was a very good guitar. It's just like perfect setup. I have recorded a bunch of videos. You can even find them, I think, on this channel. That was a very good guitar. I wouldn't have minded, but that kind of custom built, it's easy 50, 60 thousand Swedish crowns. That would be like $5,000 or $6,000 at least minimum. I bet it's much more expensive these days. So yeah, I wasn't quite within my budget, but it was a very good feel. Squeal sound. Good question. Is the furniture store IKEA's food at their restaurant authentic Swedish food? Probably, though it might be different from country to country. In Sweden, it definitely is. I don't think I've been into IKEA in another country, so I can't tell you for sure. The meatballs, yeah, they're pretty common. I mean, Sweden doesn't have a good food tradition. No Scandinavian country has. And that's easy to explain because we don't have any freaking vegetables growing here. So we just ate like potatoes and meat and like milk-based stuff. So you want good food, then go south. Go to Asia. Go to at least Southern Europe, and you start seeing a little bit better stuff. But no, nice. It's the same thing with the UK. I mean, it's okay. I mean, we learned to eat that and we've got used to it. But, if you ask me, you got to go to the warmer countries, and there you have nice food. Nepali, I can imagine, yeah. I mean, I love Chinese food, Asian food in general, Korean food, Thai food, just so good. Just Mediterranean food is better, I think. Cool, we got some love from India. Thank you so much, RR. Means the world, man. Robert Cray thing going on. What's that? Robert Cray, is that the way I speak? Okay, so someone asked about squeal, and we should probably play a little bit guitar as well. It's a guitar stream. So, how do you squeal? I don't have an insane amount of gain now, so... But it's still there, and it's a good reason to do some squeals, because it really sticks out, right? If I don't nail them, at least they're like semi-squeals. So the trick really here is to touch the string with your thumb as you strike it. So if this is like your string, and you're watching it from, well, this is your string. And you pick it right like this, usually. When you play a squeal, you're going to touch it more with the thumb, so make this almost like circular kind of movement. That's kind of the key, and then finding the good spot here. So... and once you have found it, you got to give it a good shake. Otherwise, nothing really happens. So I've seen a lot of people find the squeal, but still not be happy with it. So like, well, there you have it. It's good. That's the squeal. But it doesn't sound like when you do it. Yeah, well, that's because you're not shaking the note afterward. Of course, if you overdo it like that, it sounds like crap. Best is if you throw it in occasionally. And that's true for pretty much everything on guitar. Oh, we're in A minor, sorry. Thank you, Truth Hurts. Thank you so much. Pentatonic, thank you for all you're doing. Thank you, man. So 200 rupees, literally $24. Yeah, it's not bad. Thank you so much. So I would struggle with finding them on the low E string now as well. For that, you really want a pushy kind of sound with edge and lots of distortion. We can try, but yeah. So the key here, as I said, is not really an optimal sound for that, but you really have to do that thing, right? You have to move you do that circular motion and really exaggerate it. So let's see if you can totally mute the string with your thumb. That would be the trick. You're invited to the Puff Diddy party. Thank you. How do you play lead part in a chord progression? How can I make my pentatonic sound less bluesy? Interesting. Allan Löve, mycket svensk. Är du också det? Yeah. Caleb, you're gonna have to find a local luthier. It just doesn't make sense to email me or mail me a guitar. Sorry, man. But I'm sure you can ask around or Google a little bit. Google for luthier and your hometown, and you should find one. So what was it? Oh, how to make it sound less bluesy. So I think that if you want to make your pentatonic sound less bluesy, I think you're doing yourself a favor by adding extensions, so extra notes to that pentatonic scale. So for an A minor, you have all these notes in between the allowed notes, right? So instead of doing the... And you probably know a lot of blues licks, and that's why you want to get away from that. What you can do is just add one note. For example, the 7th fret here on the E string. And that allows you to start playing these kind of 3-note per string licks. And that's quite a difference, I think, between the... and of course, if you combine that with something pentatonic, you get... I don't know, I haven't practiced that, so... Something, I'm just trying to improvise away. If I combine those 3 notes, so basically 8, 7, 5, and you can do pull-offs, or you can do hammer on and then pull-offs, not even use your right hand, and then play 2 notes from the B string, so for example the 8 and the 5, then you start getting away from the bluesy feel and more of like a minor feel. So just playing those 5 notes, but not the 5 notes of the pentatonic scale. These are sound more like the minor scale, actually. So that would be one way of doing it. Helena Sita, I'm doing good. How are you doing? Psychedelic rock, you never really listened to it. That's like a 70s thing, right? I was too unborn at that point. Born 81. We can search for a psychedelic backing track here. Psychedelic. Oh, we didn't have much of that at all. Can you mention like a famous psychedelic band? Oh, yeah. Okay, Brainbuster. So I don't think we're gonna have any of that on the GNC side. Flavio, thank you so much, man. I'm gonna hug you back. There's my hug. Cool, guys. So this has been an amazing session. So many great comments. I even got a gift from RR. That meant the world to me. So thanks so much, man. And I hope I'll be seeing you soon again. I'm doing these streams on a daily basis, so chances are high we will meet again soon, usually this time in my European morning. So I hope you're going to get a really good practice session or some practice time today at least. And I want to thank you for being wonderful. I've been Chris Vidal. See ya. Have a good one.